Mr. Markey, you have an amendment?
I have an amendment at the desk.
Clerk will report the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Oh, just a minute. Let's be sure we.
Amendment to the committee print dated January 19, 2009, offered by Mr.
Unanimous
Markey.
consent that the amendment be considered as read.
Without objection, gentlemen's, the amendment will be considered as read, and gentlemen's recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. Mr. Chairman, this amendment requires a report back to this committee 1 year from the date of enactment from the Federal Communications Commission. The required report will contain a national broadband plan for the country. The recovery package contains funding and direction on gathering broadband deployment data and creating an interactive broadband map of the nation. The broadband deployment grants will spark new broadband builds in unserved and underserved areas. These grants will fund wireless and wireline deployments. These grants will be designed to push industry to deploy higher speeds to consumers and businesses and advance the cause of hastening the day when Americans get the type of broadband speeds and affordability that our international competitors, such as Korea and Japan, France, and the UK and others, are deploying and enjoying today. These provisions are a digital down payment on our economic future. Yet, for far too long, the United States has not had a concrete action plan for broadband policy. For too long, our broadband policy has lurched forward and backward in a random, haphazard way, with little consistency or urgency. During this time, the United States has fallen behind other nations in almost every metric used to gauge broadband status around the world: speed, affordability, deployment to rural areas, subscribership in certain urban areas, pricing, and other metrics. With the funding for broadband mapping, the collection of broadband data by the FCC, and the grant program contained in the bill, we have a new opportunity for the FCC to pull together a comprehensive blueprint for our nation's broadband policy going forward. For consumers and civic communications, this is an important exercise. For small businesses in towns and villages across the country, it may help accelerate their access to worldwide markets through the Internet. This recovery package also contains billions of dollars for health information technology, the digitizing of patient records, and bringing hospitals and insurers and pharmacies into the modern 21st century. This amendment requires the FCC to develop a plan and factor all of this together, what is happening across our country, from the new telecommunications-driven grids to telecommuting to health IT, so we can get a blueprint for what is happening, and then we can ensure that a plan is implemented that ensures that those problems are solved. So I hope that my amendment is adopted, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back the balance of his time. Is there further discussion of the Markey amendment? Seeing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of the Markey amendment will say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the amendment's agreed to.